Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa. And does Overwatch need a hero limit? Right then, let's talk about this because it is kind of a hot subject at the moment, and I think there are definitely pros and there are definitely cons to this. So I like the way you can swap heroes, and I like the way you can stack heroes. I think it opens up a lot of opportunities, and that's obviously the way Blizzard have designed the game. But there is one big problem here, and that's esports. Now, I know there's going to be some of you guys out there who just don't even care about esports, and I would implore you to sort of care about it a little bit, because esports is a very good way of seeing how the game is played at the highest level, and then you can also see ways in which the game systems kind of break down. And I would argue the fact that you can just stack heroes does break down at the highest level. Now let's just roll back a little second and let's talk about pickup groups or public groups or whatever you want to call them. These are groups where you just go in, like, if I just want to play Overwatch right now, I just click quick play, I go into a game, I'm matched with the people, I don't know who they are. There's going to be a very minimal amount of team coordination. There will be some people might call out positions of enemy heroes, some people might say, oh, maybe we should swap to this, or wait for me guys, or basic stuff like that. The thing is though, if you come against an enemy team which is 5 soldiers or 5 Winstons, sometimes it can be difficult to convince your teammates to swap into the correct heroes to counter that. Because Overwatch is a game about swapping into heroes to counter. Now, using the word counter is a little bit counterintuitive, I suppose, because it's not a direct counter, it's more of a soft counter. You get the advantage, okay? So if there was a whole team of Winstons, what would I do? Well, I would swap to Pharah, and I would expect my whole team to sort of do the same thing, and then we'd just kill them. Or maybe a couple of Mercies in there with the Pharah just blowing them away. It would be very easy, but trying to get a pickup group to do that is nigh on impossible, because they'll be like, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's hard. But if we fast forward right to the highest level of the game, so we're looking at the esports stuff, well, all of a sudden, things like that become extremely easy to do. And you can swap heroes, and you can do cheesy things like that really quick. So why have I got an issue with it at the esports level? Well, a lot of esports tournaments run on the premise of a stopwatch. Now, this is how the game, in my opinion, should be done. Especially at a competitive level, but Blizzard doesn't really want to, implement this into the game, which is a little bit weird, to be honest. So what this does is, if Team A attack and complete the objective in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, then Team B must beat that time. So you must do it under 2 minutes and 20 seconds. If you do, then you win. So how is hero stacking cheesy in this situation, you're probably asking? Well, what will happen is, if you are Team A and you need to protect your time of 2 minutes 20, and it comes to 2 minutes, and the payload, let's say you're on King's Row, for argument's sake, is about to get pushed into the final point, well, you would all just swap to D.Va and jump onto the point, and it would be impossible for the other team to kill all of your D.Vas within 20 seconds, so you win. Now, that's bad, because that means that you don't have... that's just bad game design, right? There's no skill there, they've just clicked a button and that means they win. That's not right, and that needs to be changed, but the question is, how do they change that? I don't know. There are tournaments that have been running with 1 hero limits. Now, these tournaments have been fairly interesting. There's also been a couple of show matches recently that have done the same thing. And it is interesting to watch this, because you'll see other heroes come out which you don't generally see. So you'll see Roadhog and people like that. Now, Roadhog, I really like watching Roadhog be played. He's also a very good character. The problem is, though, in the current, meta of the high end of the game, where you are allowed to hero stack, you'll get situations where you'll have a Reinhardt tank because the barrier is so powerful. Then you would have like a Mercy, and you possibly have 2 McCrees or 2 soldiers. You'll have a Widowmaker, and then you'll have like a flexi slot, so you can sort of put another character in there that you sort of need. So, maybe it's a Pharah, maybe it's another support like a Lucio, or something like that, or maybe it's a Genji, I don't know. But that's generally what happens, or maybe it's another tank. But those compositions you kind of see almost consistently, because the stacking of people like 2 76s and 2 McCrees is quite powerful. Also 2 Winstons as well. Having a problem with a Widowmaker? Well, I just throw Winston at her. But maybe the Widowmaker's got support. Well, let's just throw 2 Winstons at her. It's sort of like that. That to me, yes, it is use of the game system, but it just doesn't seem that skillful. You get what I'm saying? Now, obviously, this goes onto another argument of Widowmaker herself, because she is... Players who are too skillful will just kill your team with Widowmaker. And a lot of the esports matches I've seen do come down to, it's almost like a Widowmaker off. It's the enemy Widowmaker versus the 2 Widowmakers versus each other, and it's who the hell can kill each other, then kill the other team. And that to me is, again, a little bit, boring to watch, and I suppose that's the big issue here. At the highest level, a lot of the tactics employed at the moment seem a little bit boring to me, especially when you've got unlimited hero selections. Now, when they restrict it, I think it's a much more enjoyable game to watch because you don't get double McCree killing everyone. Now, we know McCree's going to get balanced and he's going to possibly receive a nerf, and he needs to because he is a bit over the top at the moment, but is that good or is that bad? That's what I want to get at in this video. I like the fact I can swap heroes and stack heroes and play whatever the hell I like in the current quick play system, so the public play games, okay? When the ranked comes out, though, at the end of this month, well, will I be too happy with it then? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think once you reach a certain level of coordination, it becomes a little bit too easy to just deny what the enemy team are trying to do when you can just stack heroes. I mean, the official ranked version of the game will not include a stopwatch like the esports tournaments do, because they include that sort of outside of the game, because that's the way these sort of payload delivery games have always been done throughout the years, you know, in games like Team Fortress 2 and whatever. So yeah, I don't know, guys. It's very interesting. I think this is. I want to see what you think about this in the comments below. It's going to be a long debate. This is because I don't think this is ever going to go away. I know a lot of the esports guys do want the one hero limit, and is it going to come in? Are Blizzard going to cave? Are they going to say, right, you know, we really need this? Are they just going to allow it to be a free for all and just carry on as is? We're going to have to see, guys, but let me know what you think in the comments below. I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and obviously like the video if you did like it. If you didn't, then give it a dislike. It's all good. And I'll catch you next time, people. Toodaloo.